At 10:15, fasten your seatbelts. Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57. And at 11:50, sexy, funny, award-winning, Dream On. Indecent Proposal, Passenger 57, and Dream On. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 6:45, Whitaker versus Cardona, McGirt versus Bramble, a boxing doubleheader. At 9, Chuck Norris in a Saturday night premiere, Sidekicks. Then at 10:45, Kim Basinger, Richard Gere, Final Analysis. Boxing, Sidekicks, and Final Analysis. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday night premiere, Whoopi Goldberg, Ted Danson, Made in America. At 10, Love and Grunge, Bridget Fonda, Matt Dillon, Kira Sedgwick, Singles. And at 11:45, Everybody Wants It, Everybody Needs It, Damon Wayans, Mo Money. Made in America, Singles, and Mo Money. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, Double Feature Friday, Hustling the Hoops, Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson, White Men Can't Jump. At 10, Is It Love or Just a Lab Mix-Up? Whoopi Goldberg, Ted Danson, Made in America. And at 12, an all-new Dennis Miller with the last word on the week that was. White Men Can't Jump, Made in America, and Dennis Miller. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday night premiere, Walter Matthau, Dennis the Menace. At 9:45, Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Mario Van Peebles, Take It to the Streets, New Jack City. And at 11:30, A Biker Drug King Must Fall, Charlie Sheen, Linda Fiorentino, Beyond the Law. Dennis the Menace, New Jack City, and Beyond the Law. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday night premiere.
First of all, Getting to the Law, Sharon Stone, Sliver. At 10, Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes team up with Gang, White Men Can't Jump. And at 12, Kickboxer Father joins the team, Martin Covey, to be the best. Sliver, White Men Can't Jump, and to be the best.
HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, Madonna, Playing the Field, A League of Their Own. At 10:15, How Do You Stop a Psycho Killer? Leo Rossi, Relentless III. And at 11:45, Tom Berenger and Billy Zane Stalk the Jungle and Take in the Sights, Sniper. A League of Their Own, Relentless III, and Sniper. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere, A Whale of a Story, Michael Madsen, Lori Petty, Free Willy. At 10, Two Jokers in Search of a Queen, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, James Earl Jones, Coming to America. And at 12, Tom Berenger and Billy Zane Take in the Sights, Sniper. Free Willy, Coming to America, and Sniper. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, A Whale of a Story, Michael Madsen, Lori Petty, Free Willy. At 10, HBO brings you a Life Stories premiere, A Child Betrayed, The Calvin Mire Story. And at 10:30, How Can This Relationship Work? The Opposite Sex and How to Live with Them. Free Willy, A Child Betrayed, The Calvin Mire Story, and The Opposite Sex and How to Live with Them. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere, Richard Lewis, Carrie Elways, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. At 10, the craziest look at single life in the 90s, the sexy, funny Dream On. And at 10:30, defending her client may tear her apart, Glenn Close, Jeff Bridges, Jagged Edge. Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Dream On, and Jagged Edge. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the last action hero. At 10:15, it's the craziest look at single life in the 90s, the sexy, funny Dream On. And at 10:45, he'll be damned if they take the farm. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Nowhere to Run. The last action hero, Dream On, and Nowhere to Run. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, From a Life of Cons came Prose, Janet Jackson, Poetic Justice. At 10, America Undercover hits the streets, Gang War, Bangin' in Little Rock. And at 11, A Terrorist Goes Overboard, Tommy Lee Jones, Steven Seagal, Under Siege. Poetic Justice, America Undercover, and Under Siege. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere. He's every mother's nightmare. Macaulay Culkin, The Good Son. At 9:30, Single Life in the 90s with double the laughs. The sexy, funny Dream On. And at 10, Love Can Be a Grungy Business. Bridget Fonda, Matt Dillon, Singles. The Good Son, Dream On, and Singles. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere that'll blow you away. Sylvester Stallone, Demolition Man. At 10:15, Single Life in the 90s with double the laughs. The sexy, funny Dream On. And at 11, language isn't the only barrier. Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes, Rising Sun. Demolition Man, Dream On, and Rising Sun. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, the only right he has now is to remain silent. Tom Cruise, The Firm. At 10:45, he's more than every mother's nightmare. Macaulay Culkin, The Good Son. And at 12:25, see what everyone's talking about. The Larry Sanders Show starring Gary Shandling. The Firm, The Good Son, and The Larry Sanders Show. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 9:45, back to prove that slime is money. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ghostbusters 2. At 11:30, see what everyone's talking about. The Larry Sanders Show starring Gary Shandling. And at 12, it's Friday Late Night, an all-new Def Comedy Jam. Ghostbusters 2, The Larry Sanders Show, and Def Comedy Jam. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 9, Thursday Night Prime, The Kick is Good. Britton K. Lee, Bolo Young, Ironheart. At 10:30, Take a Walk on the Wild Side of Stand-Up. Russell Simmons, Dev Comedy Jam. And at 11, Jimmy Johnson joins Len, Nick, and Chris to take you inside the NFL. Ironheart, Dev Comedy Jam, and Inside the NFL. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8,
The Saturday premiere. Making In It for a Run. Kim Basinger, Alec Baldwin, The Getaway. At 10, without confirming that who will attend, Carrie Elwes, The Crush. And at 11:30, A Terrorist Goes Overboard. Tommy Lee Jones, Steven Seagal, Under Siege. The Getaway, The Crush, and Under Siege.
HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, Never Take Your Work Home With You. Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard. At 10:15, The Crypt Keeper's back with another chilling Tales from the Crypt. And at 10:45, when he has a bad day, so does everyone else. Michael Douglas, Falling Down. The Bodyguard, Tales from the Crypt, and Falling Down. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 9, every female killing machine has the right to change your mind. Cyborg 2, Glass Shadow. At 11, Jimmy Johnson joins Len, Nick, and Chris to take you inside the NFL. And at 12, a Ouija board is her ticket into the other world, but it might not be round trip. Witchboard 2. Cyborg 2, Inside the NFL, and Witchboard 2. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, It's on HBO.
At 8, a Saturday premiere, Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon and Margaret, Grumpy Old Men. At 10, World Championship Boxing, Liv Kelly vs Gonzalez and Vasquez vs Canizales. And at 12, Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57. Grumpy Old Men World Championship Boxing and Passenger 57.
HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, the buddy system just backfired. Tom Berenger, Billy Zane, Sniper. At 9:45, Mickey Rourke and Laurie Singer, the HBO world premiere movie Last Ride. And at 11:30, the weekend review you won't find in the Sunday paper, Dennis Miller Live. Sniper, Last Ride, and Dennis Miller Live. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, they probably just need a nap. Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon, and Margaret, Grumpy Old Men. At 10, Never Take Your Work Home With You, Kevin Costner, Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard. And at 12:15, Love Always Hits You When You're Not Looking, Peter Gallagher, Watch It. Grumpy Old Men, The Bodyguard, and Watch It. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, for Robin Williams, getting his kids back is going to be a real drag. Mrs. Doubtfire. At 10:15, Big Crime in a Small Town, America Undercover, Gang War, Bangin' in Little Rock. And at 11:30, the weekend review you won't find in the Sunday paper, Dennis Miller Live. Mrs. Doubtfire, America Undercover, and Dennis Miller Live. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. At 9:30, Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, National Lampoon's Vacation. And at 11:15, he's got to practice a different kind of LA law, Lou Diamond Phillips, Extreme Justice. Ace Ventura, National Lampoon's Vacation, and Extreme Justice. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere, Stephen Ray, Donald Sutherland, the HBO original movie Citizen X. At 10, a guaranteed riot, the HBO Comedy Hour, Paul Rodriguez, live in San Quentin. And at 11, an outlaw refuses to end up in the Where Are They Now file, Paul Hogan, Lightning Jack. Citizen X, HBO Comedy Hour, and Lightning Jack. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 7, live heavyweight boxing, Riddick Bowe versus Herbie Hyde. At 8:30, a Saturday premiere, Nick Nolte, Shaquille O'Neal, Blue Chips. And at 10:30, every contestant is drop-dead gorgeous, Shannon Tweed, Andrew Dice Clay, No Contest. Heavyweight boxing, Blue Chips, and No Contest. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, definitely in a league of their own, Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger, Major League 2. At 10, Stephen Ray stars in the HBO original movie Citizen X. At 12, go behind the scenes of the HBO original movie starring Stephen Ray, Citizen X. Major League 2, Citizen X, and HBO First Look. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere, Leslie Nielsen's back, Naked Gun 33 1/3, The Final Insult. At 9:45, not your average environmentalist, Steven Seagal, on Deadly Ground. And at 11:40, wake up to single life in the 90s, Dream On. Naked Gun 33 1/3 on Deadly Ground and Dream On. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 7:30, the Happily Ever After series continues. Denzel Washington, Robert Townsend, Rumpelstiltskin. At 8, only one man can make everything alrighty then, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. And at 9:45, Three-Way Love, An Accident Waiting to Happen, Richard Gere, Sharon Stone, Intersection. Rumpelstiltskin, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and Intersection. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, Juliette Lewis, What's Eating Gilbert Grape. At 10, American Dream Turned Nightmare, the HBO original movie, Tyson. And at 11:50, HBO First Look takes you behind the scenes of the new Mel Gibson movie, Braveheart. What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Tyson, and HBO First Look. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, let the chase begin. Tommy Lee Jones, Harrison Ford, The Fugitive. At 10:15, the movie that will make you take the subway. Keanu Reeves, Dennis Hopper, Speed. And at 12:15, a one-woman war. Bruce Payne, Lance Henriksen, Aurora, Operation Intercept. The Fugitive, Speed, and Aurora, Operation Intercept. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 9:30, the moments you were never supposed to see. America Undercover, Shock Video. At 10:30, two sisters getting some action. Cynthia Rothrock, Honor and Glory. And at 12, the last word on the week that was. The new series, Dennis Miller Live. Shock Video, Honor and Glory, and Dennis Miller. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 9:45, HBO First Look takes you behind the scenes of the new Hugh Grant movie, 9 Months. At 10:15, he's not your average animal rights activist, Steven Seagal, on Deadly Ground. And at 12, once again, it's Miller time, an all-new Dennis Miller Live. HBO First Look on Deadly Ground and Dennis Miller Live. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere. He's a real animal. Jack Nicholson, Michelle Pfeiffer, Wolf. At 10:15, Shock Video 2, the show business of crime and punishment, America Undercover. And at 11:15, Thaw and Order, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Demolition Man. Wolf, America Undercover, and Demolition Man. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, 2 days that shook up the world. Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte, 48 Hours. At 9:45, the boys are back in town. Eddie Murphy, Nick Nolte, another 48 Hours. And at 11:30, the show that's so good, it's scary. Tales from the Crypt. 48 Hours, another 48 Hours, and Tales from the Crypt. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere. Side-splitting action. Jean-Claude Van Damme, Time Cop. At 10, the movie that'll make you start taking the subway. Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock, Speed. And at 12:05, Everything's Coming Up Rosie, the HBO Comedy Hour with Rosie O'Donnell. Time Cop, Speed, and the HBO Comedy Hour. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO.
At 8, a Saturday premiere, Tell No Lies, Only Truth, Demi Moore, Michael Douglas, Disclosure. At 10:15, team up with the cop closure of The Ride Joint, Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy, another 48 Hours. And at 11:55, Murder Solved, Kathleen Turner, Serial Mom. Disclosure, another 48 Hours and Serial Mom.
Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 7:30, Robin Williams brings the bard to the schoolyard. Shakespeare, The Animated Tales, The Winter's Tale. At 8, The Hero with Four Legs, Bruce Davis and Mimi Rogers, Far From Home, The Adventures of Yellow Dog. And at 9:30, she wants to put this deal to bed. Demi Moore, Michael Douglas, Disclosure. The Winter's Tale, Far From Home, and Disclosure. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a sweeping family saga that takes place over one weekend. The critically acclaimed HBO original series, Laurel Avenue Part 1. At 9:30, the saga continues with Laurel Avenue Part 2. Then at 11, let the television turn you on. Shock Video 3, Turn On TV, America Undercover. Laurel Avenue Parts 1 and 2, and America Undercover. HBO is on Tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, Daddy's Little Girl might win the Heisman. Rick Moranis, Ed O'Neill, Little Giants. At 10, The Sound of Silence Can Be Deadly. Richard Dreyfuss, Linda Hamilton, Silent Fall. And at 11:45, Where the Wildest Things Are. Russell Simmons' Def Comedy All-Star Jam. Little Giants, Silent Fall, and Def Comedy All-Star Jam. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 6:30, a live boxing doubleheader, De La Hoya versus Tyson and Chavez versus Walker. At 8:30, he's possessed with more than the need to protect and serve. Jason Gedrick, The Force. And at 10, staying alive becomes a full-time job. Maxwell Caulfield, No Escape, No Return. Live boxing doubleheader, The Force and No Escape, No Return. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere. They need much more than a hunch to make it in the 90s. The Brady Bunch movie. At 9:30, She's Better Than a Secret Decoder Ring. Melanie Griffith, Ed Harris, Milk Money. And at 11:30, don't be a fly on the wall. Taxi Cab Confessions, America Undercover. The Brady Bunch movie, Milk Money, and Taxi Cab Confessions. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 7:30, Robin Williams brings The Bard to the Schoolyard. Shakespeare, The Animated Tales, The Taming of the Shrew. At 8, to reach outer space, you need the right vehicle. Ted Danson, Pontiac Moon. And at 9:45, Oh Captain, My Captain. Patrick Stewart, William Shatner, Star Trek Generations. The Taming of the Shrew, Pontiac Moon, and Star Trek Generations. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, 6 Oscars later and still a heck of a nice guy. Tom Hanks, Gary Sinise, Forrest Gump. At 10:30, HBO First Look takes you behind the scenes of the new movie comedy Kids in the Hall. Then at 11, just when you thought the sexual revolution was over, an all-new edition, Real Sex 11. Forrest Gump, HBO First Look, and Real Sex 11. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 5:45, the Batmobile is parked for the night. First, Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, Batman. Then at 8, a Saturday premiere. Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Batman Forever. And at 10, Jeff Fahey, and HBO world premiere movie Darkman 3, Die, Darkman, Die. Batman, Batman Forever, and Darkman 3. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere. See why only the good die young. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys. At 10, don't call it a comeback. The HBO Comedy Hour. Andrew Dice Clay, Assume the Position. And at 11, When Criminals Are Formed Instead of Reformed. Christian Slater, Murder in the First. Bad Boys, HBO Comedy Hour, and Murder in the First. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, there isn't a single thing wrong with this girl. Patrick Bergen, Kelly Preston, Double Cross. At 9:30, a live World Championship Boxing doubleheader. De La Hoya versus Leija and Patterson versus Gaddy. And at 11:30, Walls Don't Have Ears, but Dashboards Do. Taxi Cab Confessions 2, America Undercover. Double Cross, live World Championship Boxing and Taxi Cab Confessions 2. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 10, an all-new season of the best hour of comedy on TV. First, he only has remote control of his life. Dream On. Then at 10:30, The Big Business of Small Talk. The Larry Sanders Show starring Gary Shandling. And at 11, the show that's so good it's scary. Tales from the Crypt. Dream On, The Larry Sanders Show, and Tales from the Crypt. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 10, the show that's so good, it's scary. Tales from the Crypt. At 10:30, in the virtual world, no mission is impossible. Billy Wirth, Corbin Burnson, Final Mission. And at 12, once again, it's Miller time. An all-new season of Dennis Miller Live. Tales from the Crypt, Final Mission, and Dennis Miller Live. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, language wasn't the only barrier. Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes, Rising Sun. At 10:15, the week in review you won't find in the Sunday paper, Dennis Miller Live. And at 10:45, they're gonna groove tonight in St. Martin, Sinbad Summer Jam 70s Soul Music Festival. Rising Sun, Dennis Miller Live, and Sinbad Summer Jam. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a Saturday premiere, Some Things You Can't Learn at Harvard, Joe Pesci, with honors. At 10, a premiere of the HBO Comedy Hour, Women of the Night 4, hosted by Tracy Ullman. And at 11, even the hero has a breaking point, Christopher Reeve, Joe Mantegna, Above Suspicion. With honors, HBO Comedy Hour, and Above Suspicion. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, everybody wants it, everybody needs it. Damon and Marlon Wayans, Mo Money. At 9:30, HBO's own sexy, funny, adults-only Dream On. And at 10, the last word on the week that was, the groundbreaking new series, Dennis Miller. Mo Money, Dream On, and Dennis Miller. HBO is on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, a dreamer, a schemer, and a beamer, Charlie Sheen, The Chase. At 9:30, he got them off the street and put them into the sky, Louis Gossett Jr., Iron Eagle 4. And at 11:15, where the wildest things are, Russell Simmons' Def Comedy All-Star Jam. The Chase, Iron Eagle 4, and Def Comedy All-Star Jam. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 8, How to Make an American Classic, Winona Ryder, Susan Sarandon, Little Women. At 10, news from the sidelines that's kept out of the headlines, Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. And at 11, talk about dangerous liaisons, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Interview with the Vampire. Little Women, Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, and Interview with the Vampire. HBO is on tonight. 30, Don't Be a Fly on the Wall, Taxicab Confessions, America Undercover. The Brady Bunch movie, Milk Money, and Taxicab Confessions. Something Special's on tonight. Tonight, it's on HBO. At 9, Thursday Night Crime, Bruce Payne, Lance Henriksen, Aurora, Operation Intercept. At 10:30, a brand new season of the wildest stand-up in town, Russell Simmons' Def Comedy Jam. And at 11, Andrew Stevens, Morgan Fairchild, Point of Seduction, Body Chemistry 3. Aurora, Operation Intercept, Def Comedy Jam, and Body Chemistry 3. HBO is on tonight.